So I think I have successfully scared my dog away, my other dog, Batman's sister, Gucci. She's kind of a globetrotter, but she just watched me slaughter like 3 rabbits. Every time the gun went off, she just kind of jumped off the chair and ran off into the yard. And I was like, yo, not you. We don't eat that. Sorry that your meat is subpar as a dog, but we're just gonna eat these herbivores. So that's what happened. I've gone through 3 rabbits at this point, and I still haven't gotten to the one that I have been battling over the last week, whether I wanted to really slaughter him or not. So I wiped out a whole brooder. I had 4 rabbits, 4, 2 went to a pregnancy, a kindling tractor, and then the other 2 I butchered, slaughtered, whatever. And then the brooder next to them had 4 bucks, and they were all brothers and sisters. And I butchered 3 of them, and I have 1 more to go. After that, I need to make sure that this one doe who's a little cuckoo in the head, she had 2 babies. They're huge, but you're not holding any of those back. They're going to be meat rabbits. So I'm fostering them over to another doe. They're actually in like a tractor colony, I guess you would say. It's a pretty large tractor. It's like 5 by 8. It's huge. But I want to see how they do over there before I pull the curtain on her. So I think I'm going to let her sit another day. I'm probably going to have to... That chime is really loud. I'm probably going to have to put her babies back in her cage tonight for a few minutes, just so that she can nurse them so that she's not in pain. And they're older. Like, she honestly should be weaned. Her kits should be weaned at this point. They're like 5 or 6 weeks. They're past their weaning date. But just so that she doesn't get mastitis, I want to make sure that she's not in pain. She gets moody more than I would like. Like, she's actually not a bad rabbit. Most of the rabbits here, actually pretty much all of them, I don't have problems with. I've had wild asshole rabbits before that were not purebred Tamuks, which is what I raise, and particularly one. And her offspring made little psycho red-eyed whites. We culled her entire line, including her. And that ended that problem. But that doesn't mean that we don't get little crazy pantses once in a while. And our crazies do not treat me half or a quarter as bad as that rabbit did. That rabbit was a cross, and the person who sold her to me as a purebred Tamuk, and I was dumb at the time and didn't get the pedigree before I bought her. And later on, she sent me some scribbled writing pedigree of who this rabbit's parents were, and it was crossed with other breeds like New Zealand and Californian. So it wasn't a pure Tamuk. So if you cross a breed with something else, even if that breed was crossed to make that breed of animal, like a Tamuk was crossed with like 8 different breeds of animals, 8 different breeds of rabbits, even if you take one of those breeds that were used to make it, you now have a completely different animal. It is now half whatever that is, and then half Tamuk. So it doesn't work. It's not the same thing. It's not stabilized. You have to breed true to your breed in order to breed true to the standard, I guess? They breed true to the standard to breed true to the breed. I don't know. You have to breed the same breed of animal if you want to stabilize that breed of animal. Yes, you may get nice meat rabbits that do great with heat tolerance. You might get a great hybrid. Great for you. Stabilize that over a period of 25, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Just like Stephen LeFar did. But if you want to skip the whole stabilization part, just breed true to Mug. So, point being, the rabbit that I am going to cull, the chocolate doe, she's a pretty good mom. Does great in heat tolerance. I don't have any issues with her babies. But she slaps me a little more than I would prefer when she's pregnant. Or when she's not even pregnant. When she's like close to having her babies, and then when she does have her babies, like she's good. But any other time, she's a little asshole. So I would rather have a rabbit that's happy to be here and doesn't rely on hormones of giving birth to enjoy the experience of life. So, if that makes sense, that's why I'm culling her. I have lots of other rabbits that don't give me issues like that. They make great nests. They make great moms. They have lots of babies. If anything, I have more moms here that have too many babies. And so, at this point in my breeding program, I'm going to have to start checking teats to make sure that I'm breeding and holding back does that have lots of teats, like 8 or more, because a lot of my rabbits will have, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 babies. And I don't know if I want to be breeding that. Even though that sounds great, it can be a lot of stress on your doe. She can get emaciated from that. Oh, somebody's also culling animals today, it sounds like. Or target shooting. I don't know. Live on the country. Your doe can get run down a lot faster. If she has a tendency to have a lot of babies, that's great, but she needs to be able to support them as well. Like, she needs to be a big fat rabbit who processes food very efficiently and who also is able to feed all of her babies without needing excess help or without them dying off because they don't get enough. So that's something to think about. This particular doe, her litters have been, inconsistent. She's very inconsistent. The first time she kindled, she had 8. The next it was 6. And this time it was 2. 2 huge, fat babies. Like twice the size that they should be. And that had to be painful. There's something that's not right with her. And rightly so. She's a little crazy. And then she's having 2 semi-normal litters and then a very small litter with huge babies. Like, that had to hurt. If my babies came out twice the size as they should. Let me reverse that. If my babies came out half the size that they should have been, I would have been totally fine. Now, if I had twins come out twice the size that they're supposed to be, I probably would just die. I don't think I could survive that. I couldn't even get the 2 out that I do have. I had to have C-sections. These poor rabbits, sometimes they just go through some brutal shit. So we don't want to be breeding that into any more rabbits. So we're gonna just cull her, because even if I did hold her 2 very large, huge, fat babies back, and they ended up being total angels, they may have extremely large babies that could hurt them or kill them on the way out. And I don't want that. That's no bueno. I know this sounds a little ass backwards, but I'd rather have a doe who has a ton of babies that are little half pints, because that would be easier on her. And she could nurse them and feed them, and they could get there, they could catch up later. That's what I would prefer. But I'm definitely not going to be holding back any half pints. None of them. We hold back the best, and that doe is just, she's not the best. So that's what I got today. I hope you guys are doing fantastico. on your homestead, and that culling your animals is not weighing on your mind too bad. And if it is, I actually just made a video talking about that. Culling an animal I didn't want to cull. So if you need some real talk, pop on over to that one, because it's a little bit deep and I got a little teary-eyed on it because it sucks and it related to something that was really deeply personal to me. Loss and all that. We all experience it. I guess I'll just catch you later. I got stuff to go do now. Peace.